Welcome back to Drafting with Mark, and in this video we're going to kind of look at chamfers and how to understand them. So this is going to be one of those videos where I'm going to help you try to calculate some of these chamfers on here. Now one of them is straightforward and the other one, we're going to have to do a little math. So without waiting around, let's get started. Okay, so you can see that this chamfer here along the top is going to be really straightforward. So there's no kind of thinking that's going to be required for this one. It's just a simple chamfer, and we do have both of our numbers, 13 by 13. Now this chamfer, we're going to have to kind of figure out a little bit of math to it. All right, but don't let this scare you. So we know the overall distance here is 70, right? So we know the total length from this circle all the way to here is 70. So we figured that part out. The next thing we need to do is take a look at this number. So that's going to get up to here. So I have a minus 20. Okay. The last thing I need to do is figure out how far is it from here going up to here. Well, if you're taking a look at that, that's going to be nothing more than the number that goes right across here. Well, this has some kind of special thing to it, right? This happens to be the diameter. Now, they give us the radius here. So if we have a radius of 10, remember that the diameter is double the radius. So if I have a radius of 10, that means that this number goes across here, should be 20. Okay, so if we take this number here, and then we also subtract it from here, that should give me 20 minus from here. And once again, I am going to apologize for my writing with this. It's kind of hard to write with a mouse. But 70 minus the 20 here and minus another 20 should give me 30. So that tells me that the length from here going straight up this direction is 30. And it's also going to be the exact same thing going this direction. It should be 30 as well. And we can do the math on that if you want to go through it. But it's simply just this 70 at the top. I have a 20 here. And then I have this same length that's going across here, right? So with these numbers already figured out, it's going to make it super easy for us to do in AutoCAD. So let's jump over to there and get started on that. All right, so here in AutoCAD, let's make this super simple for us. I'm going to go ahead and start by creating a line, and I'm going to click here, and let's go ahead and do some of the normal stuff. Now, I purposely started this line command just to show you that sometimes you can do the normal stuff while you're in the middle of a command. So right now, I'm wanting to go up. I can go ahead and turn the grid off here, and it's still not going to affect the line command. I can go ahead and turn my ortho on, still not going to affect the line command. I'm sorry, I turned polar tracking on. So I can turn the ortho on, so it still keeps me in this command, and you can see it here on the command line that it has grid off, polar on, polar off, and things of that nature, right? And then I can check my running O snaps. So these are going to be the running O snaps that I'm going to use, right? So now, in order to get rid of this, don't be afraid, just click back in your screen. It won't end that line for you. Now facing up, I'm going to type in 70. Go and hit enter. Now this kind of is going to run off the screen, so go ahead and hit the escape button. And then what we're going to do next is zoom the extents. And then I'm going to scroll backwards on my mouse. All right, kind of move this over a hair. Let's go back to the line command. I'm going to click on this endpoint. I'm going to come this direction, 70. All right, next I'm going to do some offsetting. Remember that diameter that we figured out before. Let's use that as the offset distance. So let's go to offset. That number was 20. Let's go ahead and offset this line going down here, and then this line going this direction. All right. Then I'm going to put the arcs that are on here. Now, we don't have to use the arc command. Remember that anytime you have parallel lines to each other, the fillet command will also go ahead and put a tangent circle right along this. So if I go to fillet, and notice that I'm not going to put any radius or anything in there, I'm just going to tell it that I have multiple. Then I'm going to select these two lines and these two lines. All right, let's go ahead and escape. Let's go ahead and put our chamfers on here. And the first chamfer we're going to do is this from the back. So I'm going to go to the chamfer command, distance, 13, enter. And by default, it's going to keep that same number as 13 as the second one. So I'll just hit enter. Then I'll go ahead and do this chamfer. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the next one, right? So I'll go back to the chamfer command, distance, and this is that number we figured out before. I'm going to type in 30, and it's going to be the same for the other distance, so 30. And then I'm just going to do these two lines. All right, next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and create that circle here. It has a radius of 6. So let's go to circle, center radius. I'm going to go to this center, kind of give me a little preview of it. Go ahead and type in 6. And then I'm going to copy this line over this way, a distance of 30. So I'm just going to use the copy command. Select this circle. Go ahead and hit enter. Since I'm going at a distance, the base point is irrelevant. So I'm going to select down here. As long as I'm dragging this direction, I'm going to type in 30. All right. Next, I'm going to go ahead and offset this line down. Or I can actually draw a line from those quadrants. So either way is up to you. I'm going to go to offset just to show you how to do an offset. And I don't know that distance, but I can figure it out by selecting this quadrant and that perpendicular. So once I do that, the distance is set. That's going to allow me just to offset this line going down this direction, and then this one going up that direction. All right, let's go ahead and escape. Let's use the trim command. So I'm going to go to trim. And I'm going to trim off this portion here. I'm going to hold down the shift button and I'm going to select this line, and it's going to extend it, let go of the shift button, and then go ahead and trim off these two portions. All right, let's escape out of this. I have one more command to use. So let's go ahead and use the mirror command. I'm just going to put a window around this stuff here at the bottom. So I'm just going to select it here. Go ahead and hit enter. And then the axis, or the line that I need, line of symmetry, is going to be from this midpoint going to that midpoint. Go ahead and hit enter. And now you see that this part is done. So we did a lot of the work up in the front of this one, just figuring out the chamfers. And you can see that everything else can kind of flow. One of those neat tricks that I do like to show you is that with the fillet command, that if you have two lines that are parallel to each other, there's no need to even try to figure out the radius or do an arc or anything of that nature. It's a lot easier just to go ahead and use the fillet command and go right across, and AutoCAD is smart enough to figure that out. So if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and please leave me a like or a comment. And if you are liking the black background, I'm thinking I'm kind of getting used to it. It's kind of different from the white background. So I'll do a few more videos with this. And if anybody you know that, or there's something that you want to see, please go ahead and leave me a comment. All right. So I want to thank you for watching. Bye-bye.